Hi guys, thanks for joining my YouTube channel. Well guys, the fans of Love and Marriage Huntsville and a group called Protect Black Women has taken a stand. They want Carlos King removed from the show he produced. If that means canceling the show, the women are fed up. Many women have been traumatized and triggered by the activities that has been going on Love and Marriage Huntsville. They're saying that Carlos King is a male chauvinist. Carlos King is promoting violence toward women. Carlos King is inciting a hostile work environment. They have all of these things that Carlos King is doing involving most of the women they're saying is being verbally abused and mentally abused on the show. They did not single one woman out who is not, well, I guess they're speaking about the core six. Okay, I don't believe they're speaking about Tiffany and Lewis and Stormy and her husband Courtney, because they are newcomers, and we don't know much about Kiki and her husband. But I believe from some of the commenters, they're speaking about the core six, meaning Melody, Cherie, Kimmy, and Letitia. That there's so much going on, and these women, they've had enough. They've had enough. So many of them are saying, I can't watch this show. I can't watch these fake storylines. I can't watch these made-up storylines. I can't watch this toxic behavior. And the woman has stood up. They've left their reasonings for why they're signing. Again, Carlos King is the producer of this show. He created the show. And if it means that the show will no longer be, then they're willing to stand for that as well. They're sick of seeing black women being portrayed in this image, in this negative image. So guys, take a look at some of the reasonings why women have stood up and stood together to cancel Carlos King Love and Marriage Huntsville show. Okay, I believe some fans even want Melody to wear her producer hat to produce the show. I don't know how that would go, but again, Carlos King is the producer of the show. Everything has to go through him, even though he is not in Huntsville while they are filming. But I'm certain that he has to okay what gets cut and what doesn't. So thanks again, guys, for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. Protect Black Women goes on to write, Carlos King has fostered a hostile work environment on the set of Love and Marriage Huntsville. He has allowed Martell Holt to harass and terrorize his ex-wife. On numerous occasions, there have been multiple times when Martell was raging uncontrollably and had to be held back by intervening cast members from physically attacking Melody, both on and off of camera. Martell allegedly assaulted a female crew member on set of Behind Every Man in a rage over not having contact with Melody after she had left him. Also, his volatile behavior at the latest reunion allegedly included attacking Melody's makeup artist. Martell recently showed up unannounced, uninvited, and unhinged, forcing his way into a birthday party while filming. He caused a horrible scene at this event full of children, and Carlos is aware of all of this. An employee at any other workplace would have long since been terminated due to such behavior. People have been fired from reality TV shows for much less, but Martell has been given grace upon grace upon grace. Instead of holding Martell accountable, Carlos has embarked on a joint press tour with him to rehab his public image. Carlos is protecting Martell's job at the expense of the show. Carlos has also allowed members of the Scott family to harass and bully Melody's mother, Miss Vanessa, which he did apologize for, and he allowed Marcel Scott to suggest to Louis Whitlow that his wife Tiffany should be slapped. The abusive behavior toward women on this show is very disturbing. In addition, Carlos is showing favoritism to the Scotts, allowing them to completely fake their storylines. All of this has made the show basically unwatchable, and Carlos seemingly brings this dynamic to every show under his involvement. The audience is not stupid, but we are tired. As you know, the show's ratings have been very low for the current season. Many fans have simply decided to stop watching due to the toxicity that Carlos has encouraged on the show. He is obviously too closely attached to certain cast members, especially Martel Holt. Many fans feel that Carlos and Martel have a relationship that is detrimental to the show. We are asking that Carlos King be removed and replaced if we are to resume supporting this show. We all continue to promote and support this blackout until Carlos has been fired. Well, guys, there you have it. They said the blackout will continue as long as Carlos King is the producer of this show. Again, this is Carlos King's work. This is his brainchild. If Carlos King is fired, perhaps the show will be canceled. I don't know how they would put someone else in place to run this show, but where there's a will, there is a way. We know that Melody is a producer of the show. She's given, Carlos King pretty much a lot of the people that they brought on the show and the direction that the show should go in. So perhaps she could carry out the show. Others are saying give Melody a spinoff. Other fans are saying give Melody her children, her family, her mother, her brother, her stylist, her team, give her a show, and we will support that one. Fans give their reasons for why they support canceling Carlos King and firing him as producer of Love and Marriage Huntsville. One fan goes on to say Carlos King promotes abuse toward the black community. That is unacceptable behavior and promotes the man behind the violence in front of the audience and his family. When did this become the norm? Another fan goes on to say this man produces nothing but violence. The shows he produces is a disgrace for black families. Please get him off this network. Another fan goes on to say, I am signing this petition because Carlos King's subtle and at times overtly retaliation against women, and in particular Melody Holt, is visibly painful and triggering. Carlos King being open and upfront about strategically using, allowing, and encouraging Martel Holt to verbally and physically attack Melody Cherie for the viewers to witness has become terrifying to watch. Carlos King should not only be fired from OWN Network, but he should be held responsible should harm come to Melody Cherie and her kids by Martel Holt, directly or indirectly. Another fan comments, Carlos Queen believes dysfunction is great TV. It is not. It gets you fired, let go of from VH1, Bravo, etc. He needs to be removed as soon as possible. Another fan comments, every season of OWN Love and Marriage Huntsville has become increasingly toxic and dangerous because of the continuous attacks on its star and EP, Melody Cherie Rogers. She is the former wife of Martel Holt, who still stalks and harasses her and uses the kids and others to bully his ex-wife. Carlos King and his production company has used this platform to help assist Martel Holt in the continuous mental abuse of Melody Cherie. This type of behavior has got to stop. If it doesn't and something tragic happens, OWN will be complicit in the abuse of a wonderful black woman and mother does not deserve it. Another passionate fan goes on to say, I demand that OWN remove Carlos King and Martell Hope from having any dealings with Love and Marriage Huntsville. Carols have proven to us that him and his production team is reckless with the life of Melody Cherie, the young lady whom actually is the creator of the #1 show on OWN network. Why should this young lady have to continue to deal with the abuse from all of the men of the show? It's sad that this young lady can't have a safe work environment due to the lack of respect from her ex-husband and Carlos King. Another fan goes on to say he is a disgrace to women. He's also and condones DV. He is a woman hater and we're sick of him. Another fan says somebody needs to speak out about why Carlos King thinks abuse from Martell towards Melody and other people associated with Melody is acceptable to be aired on national television. We will never support a show that doesn't protect women. Hear this, Carlos King. We see you, brother. I'm signing because Martell is abusive. I'm signing because Martell Holt is unstable and Carlos is enabling him. I am afraid for Melody. And the children, Martell could snap at any time. Martell and Carlos should be fired immediately. Carlos is allowing dangerous behavior. Carlos King allowed the show to be toxic and it's not enjoyable to watch anymore. Bullying and disrespect is never accepted. There is no humor in it. It displays evil and mean-spirited. Please do to others as you would have them or want them to do to you. I cannot watch the bullying and the fake storylines anymore. This show has become too toxic, and the women are definitely being abused at the expense of Carlos King. He has continued to allow these women to be verbally and emotionally abused on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Carlos King is a chauvinistic. He thrives off of dysfunction. It's unacceptable to continue creating toxic work environments. This show is ridiculous. Carlos King is coddling and covering for an abusive, childish tyrant. Martell and Carlos need to be gone. Carlos King is chauvinistic. He thrives off of dysfunction. It's unacceptable to continue creating toxic work environment. I cannot watch the bullying and the fake storylines anymore.